Good morning. Welcome to News Center. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ashley Mazuri. Now, a bit later in this broadcast, we'll be having a conversation on administrative justice. What exactly do you know about it? Well, we'll be breaking that down for you. Welcome to the broadcast once again. So let's begin. Now, the Transport CS Murkomen has been in a stakeholders meeting this morning. Last month, the CS issued orders in a bid to prevent the number of road accidents in the country. He is currently speaking, so let's listen in to the CS.
He's remembered for this, one of his statements that he says, security starts with you. I think, as a matter of fact, safety starts with you. As a matter of fact, safety starts with each one of us. And let me say this. It starts with a driver who is responsible to know that you cannot overtake a vehicle. The children who died in Naivasha would not have died had that driver not overlapped from the end before the Dalamere show. He knew that there was a traffic, but he kept overlapping anyway. And the kids had sent messages to their parents that this car is being driven badly. They had tried. But that driver was on a suicidal mission. Okay? If these children were adults, perhaps they would have done even more. Of course, that person took advantage of the fact that the children are young people. But we all know that we board matatus. You can clearly say that the driver is staggering to the steering. And the only thing we do as citizens is to say, naamelewa, driver anakunywa sana. Surely. Are you saying that we are so incapable of ejecting that driver from that car and demanding from the circle to give you another driver? Are we saying we are so incapable of waiting for another car to board than to board the one that has a drunk driver? Okay, the driver is overlapping. Because all of us as a country have a culture of hurry. You must reach somewhere immediately. We are the one cheering the driver, telling him, pande huyo ingine, ruka tu, ongeza tu moja, you are almost there. And you are like, tulifika Nairobi haraka, tulikuwa na driver chap. Alipita hiyo majama hapo, Naivasha. Tulipiga kona huko, tulikuwa the opposite side. Really? We are the ones who are cheering the drivers to commit. This is a sector that if we all did an arambe, from the passenger to the owners of the vehicle, to the driver, to the enforcement, both NTSA and the police, we are able to reduce the road carnage. But because we cheer on, we are able. We all know. One of the ways I learned about Matatu sector is, of course, we have boarded Matatus almost my entire life. I owned a car only for the first time in 2000 and what? In 2009, I think. Yeah, my first car, which is how many years ago? 14 years ago. So it means for almost 30 years I didn't own a car. So I've used Matatu all over here. And you all know what happens with the, that stage where the owner of the car has no control because there is a cartel there. And my predecessor, Honorable Michuki, did a lot of work to, clear this sector. Of course, and all that's happening, and we will continue working to make that there is order. So I understand the sector, and I understand the responsibility. So sometimes I used to protest when we go and board the Matatu going to Ngumba. I used to live in Ngumba. So I would go to Avia Center at the corner there. Have they changed their stage? I don't know. So I'd go there, and somebody just wakes up and says, because there is a small drizzling. We are paying 20 shillings to the estate. But because he drizzles just a few minutes, 50. Kidogo, 100. So I used to protest until one day I was told, my friend, we are watching you. Because I had come from the university with the enthusiasm of a graduate lawyer. Just graduating with all this mindset of, I know my rights. I was told to make one. And the guy was telling me that had a lot of, he has a lot of marks of some serious injuries and some dreadlocks. So I knew I was in danger.
to getting the
So
houses,
I started behaving also.
enough money for NHIF.
I started minding my own
Solutions are
business.
there. When you talk about an
Isn't that
NHIF,
the mentality that we all have in this sector? That
implement
you try,
the
you
amended
come
act.
that this country wanted, and then you are scared a little bit. You start worrying about your children and your future. I agree entirely that in terms of Usalama Barabarani, we must work together to make sure that we make this a very serious campaign. We must also, together we are putting in place measures to ensure that motor vehicle inspection is going to be monitored, but also it is possible to leverage on the private sector so that then we give private sector the opportunity to be them who are going to invest in motor vehicle inspection. And then we put in place measures that we are going to track. We know the car was inspected in this particular entity or inspection center, and that these are the results, and this is what happened. And then NTSA will just do the work of oversight to make sure that those institutions that are inspecting motor vehicles. So we are going to do that in a short while, leverage on the private sector. We want to, let me just respond to a few things here, which is that, yes, again, we are going to give attention, I agree, to other sectors. We discussed with KEPSA the other day about the insurance, and I have a fairly good understanding now what is required in the insurance sector for the benefit of the investors, but also benefit of the beneficiaries. I know our friends, my colleagues in the legal profession have been accused of benefiting more than all the victims of road accidents. Again, we are going to make sure that this process is transparent. That has other factors other than our just desire to delay. So digitalization will continue, and we must meet the deadlines and timelines of June that has been created and set for ourselves as government. Instant fines, I agree. We need to work together to see how these instant fines are going to be applied immediately, and it's one way of getting rid of corruption. Cashless system as much, we need also to agree.
That is Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen at the National Transport and Safety Authority stakeholders meeting, talking about different measures that need to be put in place in order to ensure road safety in our roads. Of course, he's talked about